today we're going to talk about real estate SEO. For some of you that don't know, SEO is the love language of Google. Okay, so if you want to get Google to love you, you got to speak some SEO. And with us today we have Nicholas Pillay. So he's one of our growth partners here at Ardor SEO. He has over 5 years of experience in consulting in various companies and is very much aware of the latest marketing trends. So he's your guy, and even was a part of the marketing team for Grant Cardone last year. So this usually makes people go crazy because, you know, I'm not saying that every one of you is going to be Grant Cardone, but if you want to be close, you may want to talk with Nicholas. And yeah, our company, Ardor SEO, as you know me, with Icons of Real Estate, we're working with agent attraction, but we also have a real estate marketing agency at Ardor SEO, which we help optimize and revitalize websites and lead generation for real estate professionals. And we're currently working with the #1 producing team in the whole eXp Realty, the short-term shop. Avery Carl, she's been our client since 2019. And 2019, so you can get a feel, she was doing 59 million in volume of sales, her and her team. Last year, she did 1,066 million. Okay, we're talking about 4 years of growth with 20 times $50 million business. And I guess Nicholas is gonna lay it out for you. How can you do that for yourself? Hope that was good enough for you, Nicholas.
Yeah, that was great. But yeah, thanks. Just to introduce myself as well as Thomas says, my name is Nicholas. I am a marketing strategist and growth partner at Ardor. And yeah, I have a lot of experience in the industry, and you know, I've worked with the likes of iBuyer and, you know, Redfin before, because I was part of quite a big agency before moving to Ardor. And obviously the most notable being Grant Cardone. I was responsible for his content marketing for his website. So I have a lot of insight into how the big guys do it. And a lot of times we look at the big guys and we're like, okay, you know, they got like 50 people working for them. But it's not actually the case. A lot of the times they just have a really good marketing firm. They have a good strategy and just a couple of people in the room. And with that, we can kind of copy the good stuff from them and help those smaller realtors to become that size. And that's our goal. So today, Tomas just asked me to give just a brief overview of the importance of having a website and how investing in SEO can really unlock your website's potential, and, you know, the benefits that a realtor can really extrapolate from that kind of setup. So I just made a short presentation just to kind of just guide us through and hopefully answer a lot of the questions that you guys might have. But obviously, if there's any questions, please feel free to stop me, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of the questions. So
you have co-host. There you go.
Okay. So can everyone see my screen? Yeah, good. All right. So the first question that everyone asks is, why do I need to have a website, right? Like, why should I even have it? It's like, most people will have a subdomain, right? They'll have a page on Sotheby's or on EXP or on Remax. You know, they'll give you a page where you can basically show who you are, show your contact details, and many realtors think that's enough for people to contact you. But that's not really the case. And that's not really the point of the website as well. It's not really just about how people can contact you or how people can get your information. Because in the real world, most people won't even know who you are. I know a lot of you might have really great networks, but to get to that next level, you need people who don't know who you are to figure out who you are or to find you, right? Because once they learn about you, then it's all easy. So there's a couple of major benefits that people, especially realtors, overlook when it comes to having a website. So I just wanted to kind of break that down a little bit. So the first one is visibility and branding. Okay, so when you have a website, it serves as a digital storefront for you, and it allows you to showcase everything you do. It allows you to showcase your listings, your services, what you what your expertise is, right? If you segment it into luxury real estate, your website gets to show that and really show it, right? Not just a word that people might not even read, where it says, okay, you know, my name's Mark and I specialize in luxury real estate. Your website can embody that, where people will just look at the website and know, this guy, luxury. Oh, this guy, you know, he's going to help me if I'm looking for luxury real estate in this specific area. So your website can help you communicate that without having the searcher or the potential customer having to read or dig up that information, right? So it allows you to build a brand for yourself. And it allows you to build a brand for yourself. It allows you to embody that brand in a visual way and in a more engaging way, right? The next big benefit is that you're accessible 24/7. Okay, so if someone looks at a specific page or a subdomain, it doesn't show that you're easily accessible. It means like that person now has to go and do work, either fill in a form or find you or find your social media profile. Whereas if you have your own website, you get to communicate with them from the start. You get to show them your listings before you even meet them, right? They get to learn about who you are, what you do, where you're located, all these things. And, you know, even if it's in the middle of the night, even if it's literally in the middle of the night, someone scrolling on their phone, they can discover you and they can interact with your business, even when you're asleep. So that's the real benefit of it. It's actual, true 24/7 availability. Then the next one is you get to showcase your listings more effectively. So I do know that on some subdomains, you do get to, you know, highlight some of your premium listings. But when you have your own website, you're in complete control. If you want to draw attention to a specific listing because, you know, it's been 3 months and you need to find a buyer, you get to adjust your website to put that front and center, right? So you get to control your listings. You get to control how the images are portrayed or what information is there. Even if you go and take additional photos that might not be on the system and you want to put them up there, you get to do that. You get that freedom and flexibility so that you can start using some marketing trends or, you know, some marketing tricks and boost it even further. I mean, you know, everyone is talking about TikTok now and TikTok is so great, et cetera, et cetera. Why not? If you can make a short video, you know, just plug it into the website and it just adds an advantage over everyone else. That's essentially what it does. It gives you flexibility to implement whatever marketing trend you want to. And when they change, the website can adapt. Then the fourth part is you get to be in control of the content that you put on your website. So I know if you have a subdomain from a realty company or a broker, you're not really in control of the content that's on there. But when you have your own website, you are in charge of it. And content marketing is incredibly effective, especially for realtors. So a great example of this is we had a client that I helped maybe 2 months ago, and he specialized in luxury real estate in Texas. And his clientele was all people who were not from Texas moving to Texas. So he had a subdomain. No one could really tell that that was his specialty from the subdomain, but he built his own website. We managed to get the entire website aligned to that niche. And then all the content that we put on the website was targeted to people who might be interested to move to Texas. You know, are there good schools in Texas? We wrote an entire article on that. That captures people and brings them over to his website. You know, what's the best school district? Or what's the best restaurants in Texas? What's the cost of living in Texas? All those kind of questions that people are searching for. His website provided all the answers. And that's how we managed to get a lot of traffic to the website, even though it was fairly. So that is the underlying benefit.
You need to wash your hair first. It's so matted.
That's the underlying benefit of being in charge of the content on your website, where you can really tailor it and you can really use it as a tool to capture people and bring them to you. Because let's be honest, if you're answering their important questions before they even decide to move to your state or your city, when it's time to buy a home, who do you think they're going to call? Because they already know you, right? They already know who you are. They already know that you're going to help them. You've already helped them before they paid you. So you're going to get that lead. And that's the benefit of it. So the last part is the part that everyone is interested in. Right? It's the lead generation. It allows people from visiting your website, they can then leave their details, they can then become a lead for you. And there's a much higher rate of conversion for those leads compared to someone asking you to call them back on a subdomain. Because when someone looks at your page on a subdomain, they just see the basics about you. And if they're interested, they'll send you a message. However, on your website, you're putting so much more information in front of them. You're showing them who you are. You're showing them your brand. You're showing them your speciality. You're informing them. You're giving them value. And because of that, you're far more likely to convert that visitor into a lead. And that's the real benefit. And there's so many other marketing trends that you can use to improve that conversion rate. Like there's tons of different lead magnets you can use. There's different toolkits that you can offer visitors so that every visitor that comes to the site feels like you're giving them so much value that, your brand, your business is being elevated every single step of the way for them. And that's really the benefits of having an individual website for you rather than just relying solely on a subdomain or a specific page. Now, the underlying thing that I'm trying to make is, and this is true in the modern world, that your website is your first impression. Because the reality is, if I'm interested in buying a home and I search things online, and if I come across your website, that's going to frame how I see you, how I see your business. And it's pretty much going to tell me instantly whether I'm going to work with you or not. So if you as a realtor don't have a website and you're going against a competitor that does, in today's market, the person with the website is going to get that lead every day of the week. Just because I can, as a potential searcher or potential home buyer, I can learn more about your competitor than I can learn about you. So immediately I'm going to trust that competitor more than you, right? Because that competitor is giving me more information, telling me more about themselves, showing me their listings. They're being more open and they're providing more value than someone without a website. So in that case, your first impression is the website, and it's incredibly, incredibly important. Now, the other big question is SEO. And a lot of people don't really understand SEO. And to be honest, SEO can get really technical really fast, right? But in essence, SEO simply stands for search engine optimization. So what it does is it's a group of practices that digital marketers use that allows searchers or potential home buyers to find your website. So in the first part, we've created a beautiful website for you. It does everything it's supposed to do. It's branding your website. It's making you more available. It's all those benefits of having a website. They're there. But now SEO kicks in to get people to that website so that they can actually see and benefit from everything that you're offering them. And it allows searchers to find you. It adds authority to your website. It validates your business as an entirely. And then it's also just essential because everyone else is also doing it, right? Everyone's doing it, so you have to do it to keep up. And in essence, your SEO just ranks you on Google, right? So if I search realtor in Missouri, right? Every realtor in Missouri, their website will pop up. But the order that it pops up in is super important. Because I mean, let's be honest, right? Who goes to the second page of Google? If you search anything, right? No one ever goes to page 2. If it's not on that first page, most people will just change what they searched and try again. So in the same sense, we want your website to pop up as soon as someone searches something related to you. So for example, if you specialize in luxury real estate in Los Angeles, if anyone Googles luxury real estate in Los Angeles, you need to pop up. And SEO is how we connect the two. We connect your website to that keyword and link them. So whenever someone pulls up the keyword, your website pulls up. And a lot of people are also doing it. So that's why we have to be ahead of all the trends. We have to be ahead of the industry and make sure that we're consistently edging everyone else so that when a keyword that we want pops up, our website pops up. So the next question is, how do we actually make that, right? How do we tell Google, whenever someone searches this, show my website? And the underlying truth of it is we optimize every aspect of the website so that it ranks for that keyword, right? So in the blogs, in the landing pages, the whole website, like everywhere that there's words on your website, we'll sneak in the keywords, right? So it's sort of like if you're going through a Word document and you use the find function, that's essentially how Google works. So we want to put those keywords in your website so that someone searches on Google, it just lights up your website and brings it to the top. And that's essentially the simplified version of it. And how we achieve that: keyword optimized blogs, keyword optimized tags, and keyword optimized structure. So that the way the website is laid out, the way the website is built, is also simple, elegant. It makes sense. Homepage is /home, blog is /blog. It's not like, your website is marksrealty.com/3547, and that's the blog page. It needs to make sense so that Google understands what it is and Google can, share that with the world. So that's essentially what we do. Keyword optimized blogs, keyword optimized tags, keyword optimized structure. So everything is simple, elegant. Google understands it, we understand it, and the link is formed. So when it comes to SEO, the reality of the situation is, if anyone wants to find you and they Google and you don't show up, in their mind, you don't exist, right? You're not even mentioned in the conversation. And I think we all know that that's true, right? Even if I meet you in person and you say, hi, my name is Mark Jacobs. If I go home and I Google Mark Jacobs Realtor and nothing pops up, you've lost the lead, right? Because no one is going to trust you. No one, like, where's your website? Where's your business? That's something that, especially Gen Z, is incredibly, incredibly important, right? They want to be able to research you. They want to be able to look at your previous listings. They want to be able to learn about you as a person. When did you start being a realtor, right? If you want to convince me to buy $1 million home, I want to know how much experience you have in the real estate market. Like, all those questions, all those worries in their head, your website gets to eliminate that and validate you, right? It gets to show them that you're an experienced realtor. You're the perfect person to help them. You're the person that's going to find them their dream home. Now, that entire conversation can happen without you having to phone them, because your website does it for you. And SEO makes sure that, when they search, you pop up. So that's the main benefit of SEO, is because it doesn't matter how beautiful your website is. It's completely useless if nobody gets to see it, right? So that's why both of these things go hand in hand. Beautifully designed website that embodies your brand, it shows how important you are, shows how authoritative you are, shows how you can help people find their homes that they're looking for. And then the SEO to make sure that they can find you, they can find your brand, right? And this is where another kind of strategy comes into play. A lot of people want to make that connection really fast, and they want to just buy ads, right? They want to buy ads on Instagram, Facebook, and even on Google. They'll just create a website, spend a couple $1,000s on ads, and they'll get some traffic. But the downside of that is, when you stop paying for ads, everything goes away, right? All your traffic goes away, all your leads go away, everything goes away as soon as you stop paying for ads. Whereas with SEO, it's long-term. We build the value in your website so that even when you slow down or go into cruise control, the traffic is still there. The authority is still there. You've built long-term value for the website itself. And a great example of this, and Tomas alluded to it earlier with Avery and how much money she managed to grow just investing in SEO and a website. She grew from 59 million in 2019 to $1 billion last year. But this is actually her stats, right? So when she joined Auto SEO and started building a website and doing the SEO, her website was only getting 40 visitors per month. I think it was something like 46 visitors per month. And now they regularly get over 20,000 visitors per month to the website. And they get over 1,500 leads, all organically, right? So without the ads that they buy, just from the website, organically, people searching, finding, and it becoming a lead, over 1,500 per month. And obviously she's built a massive team to be able to handle that kind of traffic. But that's the potential of it, right? It's the potential of building a lead generating machine that works for you even when you're not at work. It's building an office that's always there to answer people's questions 24/7. It's building a brand that gets to show or embody your brand even when you're not around to physically meet all these people. And the potential of, essentially meeting thousands and thousands of people every day. It might not be possible for us physically, but with a website, it can be achieved. You can have that impression. You can embody your brand and you can display your brand to thousands of people every day without as much effort, so that you can focus on what you're really good at. You can focus on getting the lead and closing it. And all the other things of building trust with the potential customer, let the website handle that. Let the website convince every person that visits that you're the best person for the job. And once they become a lead, you focus on what you do best and sell the home, close the deal. So yeah, the once you understand all of that, and I'm sure the value is there, the first place to start is with a consultation, right? To really get into the nitty-gritties of it, to really understand how all of this stuff, all of this website and SEO stuff, how can it apply to my specific business? And that's kind of business to business specific, right? We might have realtors that are doing 10 million in sales. Some might be doing 20, some might be doing 50. And for each of those, we build a custom strategy, taking the benefits of what we've said before, but we kind of tailor it to each individual person. So that consultation will be analyzing your website or your web presence, analyzing your competitors, and creating a plan on how we can always show up above them. Whenever someone Googles and is searching for a realtor, the goal is to always show up ahead or above of your competitor so that people click you and not them. Every visitor comes to you and not them. So that's sort of the goal. And I think Tomas, as well, our company, Auto SEO, is willing to give anyone a free consultation. If you want to learn more about SEO, if you have any questions, if you're thinking about getting your own website, but you want to know more about the benefits of having it, just reach out to Tomas or myself, and we can schedule a free consultation for you where we can just chat. Even if it's other marketing related things, not necessarily website, we can just chat and see how marketing, how website and SEO, how those kind of things can help you really take the business to the next level. So yeah, that's everything from my side. Is there any questions, anything anyone wants to know about anything specific that I mentioned?
So I think this has been really informative on why it's so important. And it doesn't seem like it would hurt just to do a free consultation, even if it's something people aren't ready to do today, just something that they can plan to build out. Is there any tips that you can give for everyone on the call right now, something that they could do themselves to improve their SEO today?
Okay, so SEO doesn't just apply to website, because other companies also use a similar kind of practice. So even if you have a Facebook profile or an Instagram profile, always make sure that you incorporate the keywords. And I know that, if you have a consultation with us, we can do like in-depth research. But if you just think to yourself, what is kind of the main keyword that I want to be associated with? When someone Googles this thing, I want to show up, right? So I don't know each individual person's location or something like that, but if you are a real estate agent in San Francisco, the first keyword that should pop into your mind is homes for sale in San Francisco or realtor in San Francisco. So that's sort of how we can kind of gauge the keyword that we want to target. And then make sure to incorporate that as much as you can. So if you have a profile like on Instagram, in your bio, just say realtor in San Francisco. So that when someone searches on Instagram, realtor in San Francisco, Instagram knows, hey, this person, show them, right? And you can do the same thing for Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever social media profile you have. Think about those keywords and incorporate them somewhere. It can be in your bio, it can be in posts that you do, even in stories. If you're putting out stories on Instagram or Snapchat, I'm not too sure about Snapchat actually, but Instagram I know, they index those things. So you can just say hashtag San Francisco real estate. So then when people are searching those things, you're going to be consistently popping up. And the more you pop up, the more Google and all these platforms will say, hey, this person keeps popping up. They must be really important in this area. And they'll just keep pushing you up, right? So it's a bit of a long journey, but those are things that we can do today. All social media profiles, even if you have a little bit of control over your subdomains or pages that you might have on Zillow or wherever, incorporate those keywords. I know it can be challenging to try and figure them out, but the best or the simplest ones that we kind of go for is homes for sale in the city that you specialize in, realtor in the city that you specialize in, or even if you want to be more specific, the suburb that you really specialize in. So homes for sale in that suburb, realtor in that suburb, or even that suburb realtor. So San Francisco realtor, or, you can play around with it. You can even make variations of it and Google will still understand that it's the same keyword. So if you say San Francisco realtor or realtor in San Francisco, Google knows it's the same thing, right? So play around with those keywords and you'll be able to see a bit of a spike. If you do that consistently and you keep incorporating it in your posts, I know Instagram and hashtags is very effective, but even in the caption itself, if you can try and fit in that you're a real estate agent in San Francisco or wherever you are, you can start seeing a slow increase. And anyone who has a website already, implement those keywords as soon as possible. There's a lot of other stuff to SEO, like the technical side of it, but the on-page SEO, which is the keyword aspect, find the keywords that you want to be associated with and fill them in wherever you can. So that would be my best actionable advice for today.
If I could just piggyback on that, Nicholas, like one resource that is available for everyone, and it amazed me how much realtors are not taking advantage of this. It's the Google My Business. So the Google My Business, for you that are not familiar with it, is basically your Google profile, your local citation. So you're looking for the next Mexican restaurant in Google Maps, you'll come up something with the reviews and the address. That's a Google My Business profile. And realtors also have the ability to have the same profile, because what you are doing, you are offering at the end of the day a service, right? You are offering help on buying and selling homes. And setting up your Google My Business is, guess what, completely free. And you can get organic leads coming from it, okay? I was just reading an article last week about an agent that has been working only 3 months on his Google My Business on his own, and he's already getting like leads from it, okay? And this is free organic leads that are calling your number. So if you have someone in your location looking for a realtor near them, and you happen to be near them, and your Google My Business is set up and optimized, when we say optimized, is all the information is correct. You have the correct pictures there. You have some reviews there. They don't need to all be fake, if you know what I mean. You don't need to ask your nephew to give you a 5-star review. Usually Google, for some reason, it can scrape through them. But even if you have like 7 reviews and and there's a 4.7 rating, it doesn't need to be all 5s. Like, people will see, okay, this guy already helped 7 people sell or buy, maybe I should give them a call. Okay. So my advice on this that Kay was talking of, how can I get started today if I'm not ready to invest a big chunk of my marketing expenses? Like Google My Business is certainly something you should explore. Okay.
Well, that was something I was going to ask, if that's something that your business helps with, is Google My Business. And I was a few minutes late. So what's the name of your company and what's your website?
Oh, so the name of our company is Auto SEO.
Okay.
And you Google My Business as well. So we optimize it. We will create it for you, but we'll also optimize it for those keywords. So, people will know exactly who you are. And when it comes to Google My Business, Google will always pull up one right up front. And we want to ensure that yours is the one that pops up first.
Okay.
That gets all the traffic. So
can I have a link to the website? Sorry, I thought you were done talking.
No problem. It's called Auto SEO.
I'll share the link. I'll share the link on the chat.
Okay.
And Nicholas, if you can see the chat, there are some questions here. People talking about costs and different budgets, and yeah. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So when it comes to cost, we do have different packages for different budgets. And as I said, in our consultation, we kind of see what's the best package for you, and how we can ensure that the investment into website and SEO pays for itself with additional business, right? Because that's what we want. We want it to pay for itself, and we just want you to keep growing from that. So the cost can vary depending on your budget. Obviously, when I was working with Grant Cardone, his marketing budget, I think for SEO alone, for the 10X Miami building was like $80,000 a month, which is ridiculous, right? And that is now, he wants to be number one for everything from overnight he wanted to. And we managed to make it happen. And we've used all these different strategies to make that happen. But what we do at Auto is we look at how your business is currently set up, we look at how it's currently doing, and we find the package that's best for you, that you can afford comfortably, and that will pay for itself as soon as possible. So hopefully that answers the question, because there's lots of different packages to choose from. See what info people are checking out. Can we see the info of people checking out website and Google My Business, and while we're having a Google My Business profile? So we do a lot of data reporting once we have your website up and once we have your Google My Business up. We can't track individual people that visit the website or visit the Google My Business profile, but we do track the leads for you and implement with whatever CRM that you're using, so that you can keep track of everyone that's come to the website and has shown interest, so that you can follow up on that. And we even do like email nurturing funnels so that you can keep in touch with them. So that at the end of the day, your website is an asset to your business that just generates leads for you passively. That's the goal.
Did you have a question, Patricia?
Thank you, Kay. Nicholas already answered. Thank you.
All right, not a problem.
Nicholas.
I think we could do something cool. Nicholas, do you have the Ahrefs there?
I can pull it up.
What we can do is, does anyone have a website right now? And you can put it in the chat. And what Nicholas can put is that this is actually part of the consultation, but we can do it so everyone sees what we show. We have this tool that is called Ahrefs, which is not illegal. So don't call the FBI on us. But we can see pretty much everything that is happening when it comes to organic traffic around every single website. Even if you want to check out how Nike.com is doing, you can. So if anyone wants us to put their website into this tool, and we can show everyone how the website is ranking. And Nicholas can give even a few quick tools, quick tips on how to improve the ranking.
Javier just put his in the chat.
Yeah. Do you wanna put that on the yeah, so just one thing. So I see it's a subdomain from eXp Realty. Nicholas explained the difference between having a subdomain and your own website, right? So this subdomain that eXp offers is the front end of KV Core. You understand that, right? So the back end of KV Core is the CRM. The front end of KV Core is this website. And Kay was talking about how, okay, what are some actionable things we can do that are quite in our reach. Okay, the first thing that I would incite you to do is buy a domain. Okay, a domain costs like $10 or $15. And for example, for Javier Enriquez, Javier, where are you? Are you in Texas? Are you in Austin? Well, let's assume he is. So if Javier is in El Paso, you could put something like Javier elpasorealestate.com, you know, as simple as that, and it's going to give you more authority, and it's something that you can start working on instead of javierenriquez.exprealty.com. Okay, you don't want to have the same website as other 90,000 agents. You want to have something that you can call your own. And then just the last bit, sorry, Nicholas. This subdomain and every other subdomain, if you ever were with Compass or Keller Williams, they offer this. Okay, it's the same value that all agents can offer their clients. So you should be able to offer something more. And on top of that, I'm not saying that none of you are going to leave eXp Realty. There's no reason to leave the only profitable brokerage in the country. But if you were to leave eXp Realty, Javier, that website will be gone. And imagine you would be working on them for 2 or 3 years. Maybe you're writing a few blog articles there, building a few squeeze pages there. All that progress that you invested, it's gone, because that website does not belong to you. That website belongs to eXp Realty. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And as Tomas says, if you register a domain that's javierenriquezrealty.com, then you build your own brand. Yes, you're still under EXP, but you build your own brand. So if you ever want to move or change or whatever, all the investment that you've done into your brand as a realtor gets to move with you. You don't have to sacrifice it and start over again. So here's the page. It looks great, and here's the listings, and it looks fairly professional, right? However, the website gets no traffic per month. So on average, there isn't many people coming to the website at all. Not enough for it to reflect as traffic to the website. However, eXp Realty, if you look at this number here is domain rating. So it's a ranking out of 100 to show like how important the website is. The exprealty.com, if you just like take your part out and just look at eXp Realty, then you'll see that they get 268,000 people visiting their website every month. So eXp Realty is getting all the traffic, which is great, but you as the realtor are not benefiting from that because people are not coming to your page. But if you have your own website, then you can brand it however you want. You can include the keywords that you want, and people can come to your website. And everyone that comes to your website, there's no risk of losing them to competing realtors that are also on the same website technically, right? So everything is you, only you, your listings alone. And you don't get to, you won't spill any leads to competitors. But as you can see, eXp Realty, this one website, they rank for 405,000 keywords, and they get 268,000 people visiting per month, every month, right? And if we go back, Ahrefs basically says on your page, there's only one keyword. And that keyword is best realtor in El Paso, Texas. So when someone searches best realtor in El Paso, Texas, your website or your subdomain page is the 40th result. So on page 4 of Google. So someone Googles best realtor in El Paso, Texas. They literally have to go to page 4 and then you'll show up. And just to show like best realtor in El Paso, Texas, like that keyword, there's a tool here where we can see how many people are actually Googling that. Best realtor in El Paso, Texas.
That would be actually a pretty cool keyword to rank for, right? Imagine you show up at first time when if someone is Googling this.
Texas. Yeah, it's not coming up.
You can click on the keyword if you go back, Nicholas. You can click on the keyword there, and it will open up the profile.
On that one. There we go. Yeah, so 200 people a month are searching that. And when they do search that, this is what it looks like. The person who comes up on top is ratemyagent.com, which is a site that probably just, lists the best of them. But then all the way in 40th position is the website. And that's the only place that it ranks. So if anyone searches any other keyword, that subdomain is not showing up. Only for this keyword, it'll show up and in position for you. Is there another one? PamSellAustinTexas.com. Okay. Let's try that one.
If I can just, Laura was asking if the site can integrate with KV Core. So this site is, again, it's the front end of KV Core, but if you're mentioning the websites that we put together, they're usually built with WordPress, and you can be integrated with any CRM in the planet, including, of course, KV Core. And then there's someone here asking on how to add keywords on our website. Nicholas, if you can also touch on that.
Keywords, I'll use this one as an example, right? So this is a heading and it just says Pam Bergara. So that could be a keyword. If someone searches Pam Bergara, you have that keyword on the website. But even here, like this, Austin Real Estate Agent, that's a good way of including that keyword into the website, right? So wherever it feels natural to do that, you can do that. So Austin Real Estate Agent. And to really emphasize or to have a keyword ranked for a page, you kind of need to include it like 3 or 4 times on the page. And not all like squashed up together here. Maybe on this one page, you can have Austin Real Estate is there. Then maybe again here, Austin Real Estate. In the footer, Austin Real Estate. So then this page is then connected in some way to that word, to that phrase, Austin Real Estate. So that's sort of how you include it. You can include it anywhere. But the best template to use is include it in one heading, like this. One heading. In the first paragraph of writing on the website. So here, which they've done. Austin Real Estate, Austin Real Estate. And then 2 other times somewhere in the page, but spaced out. So that way you have it in one heading and in 3 other places. And that would be considered fairly optimized for that specific keyword. So then over time, when Google does its research on all the websites in the world, and it will scrape your website, it'll be like, oh, this website, that keyword pops up. That's a good way to link the two. Because, Google doesn't have people doing this. It's all like machines that analyze your website. So by putting in the keywords, you're kind of feeding the machine and convincing them of who you are, what you do, et cetera, et cetera. So that's how you would include it. yeah, so KV Core, as Thomas said, it can be integrated. With this website, I think maybe I need to, yes. It's not picking it up at all.
Because it's a new website, guys. So you can understand, and this was predictable to see. So Google hates new websites. So you can see like sort of a metaphor. A new website is like the new kid on the block, and Google is kind of the sports guy, and you want to be friends with it, but he doesn't trust you. He doesn't know who you are. Okay, so I think this website has only a few months, but even if you're not putting any work on it, if you're not optimizing it on SEO, like it's not gonna come up. It's not gonna coming up. That's why not only having a website presence is important, but also optimize it to the love language of Google. Remember, to SEO to make it visible.
Yeah, 100%. And Google will regularly do these searches for every couple of months. They will go through all the websites again and just make sure that it's all updated. So if that hasn't happened, then the data won't be here. But that's why it's also important to maintain that SEO, to keep like updating things. Because as Tomas says, Google hates new websites, because new websites could be a scam, right? I can make a website today and be like, I'm going to sell this magic elixir that's going to, make you fly, right? Things like that, or whatever. And that's why Google is skeptical. But the old websites that have been around for 20, 30 years, Google knows that those are authentic because they've been around for a long time. People trust them. I think we have another example here.
This, this website, I believe, has actually been around for quite some time. I didn't know it existed until I Googled Pam's name, but it's been up there for some time. It's just been not put any love into it.
Okay.
Dormant.
It might be that this tool can't get to the website, or I know sometimes people will put in security into the website where the tools like this can't infiltrate, but sometimes that pops up. But for this one, luxpg.com, the domain ranking is really good. It looks like they have been investing in SEO, or they have been doing some SEO. There's also 71 backlinks, so it shows that the website has been active and someone has been doing something, which is good. They rank for 306 keywords, and they have 9 keywords in the top 3, and they're getting 100 people visiting the website per month. So this is pretty good. This is a good starting point to have. They
That's Elizabeth's team website.
right. Yeah, so this is really good because Elizabeth Riley, eXp Realty, position 1. If someone Googles that, it comes up number 1. Her name as well, even a variation, Lux Property. I think these are other realtors' names, maybe. Evans Cashville Property, Highland Park, West Austin. This is all the keywords that are in first page of Google. So someone searches any of these things, this website pops up first page of Google. Then here's a bunch that's just on the edge, is the second page of Google. All of this up to 20 is the second page of Google. And these are some nice ones that you can just tip it onto the first page, then the traffic will follow. Because as I said, no one goes to the second page of Google. But as you convince Google that you're important, Google will start moving you from position 40 to 35 to 32 to 20. And then once you're in the top 10, that's when you're actually getting the people clicking on your website.
So for example, if I could just piggyback here, like one of the first things to look at if we were to optimize this website, we would look in to easy wins, right? And what is it? What is the easy win? It's all these keywords that are ranking for the second page. We would optimize each page to make it rank for the first page, because again, no one goes to the second page. And the other thing that is different is you have something that is called branded content, branded keywords, branded traffic and non-branded traffic. So branded traffic is when people are already looking for Elizabeth, right? Elizabeth Rowley, or they put looks property group. So this is already obviously keywords that you should be ranking, even having a website or not, because you will pick up your social media. What you really want to look on, even Kay is there. Look at you, Kay, you're famous. What you want to look on is actually the non-branded content, because that's the new that's the new traffic you should be acquiring. So there was a fantastic keyword there, like eXp Realty Austin, Texas. Like if someone is Googling that, can either be looking to join eXp Realty, so that's great if Elizabeth wants to do attraction within that lead, but it can also be great. It can also be someone that is looking to buy a house in Austin, Texas and use eXp Realty, you know, and that doesn't have Elizabeth Rowley's name, but Elizabeth can optimize that to be the #1 result for that.
So Realty Austin is actually another luxury property team here in Central Texas.
No, I know, but it said eXp Realty Austin, Texas.
Yeah,
I know.
okay.
I know about Realty Austin.
Okay.
But I bet there's some confusion when that comes up for sure.
But if the confusion ends up with getting more traffic to the website, that's fine.
I would say like a self-critique for our team too would be, I want us to rank luxury Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
And I don't see that anywhere.
Let's see if we can
What are you doing to rank for it, or did you just declare?
I'm not sure how to add the keywords into our backend. I know that we have a WordPress, but that's it.
So simply put, if you want to optimize for a keyword, the best way to do it is to do it on the front of the website, on the website itself, and behind the website. So on the front of the website, it's the content, right? So if you write a blog about luxury realty in Austin, Texas, you fill that keyword in as many times as possible. But not too much, not too condensed, but like spread out. That's the way to do it on the front. Then on the website itself, maybe you have a page that's just dedicated to luxury property in Austin, Texas, and it's called luxury property in Austin, Texas. Or maybe a page that says, it's not necessarily a blog, but it says why you should invest in luxury realty Austin, Texas. So that's how you can put it on the website. Then behind the website, in all the tags and how you organize the website, you can name things accordingly and name things luxury Austin, Texas, or incorporate those words in all those like technical stuff, which if you do find yourself dealing with, you can just rename specific things. Like if you have a picture that's on the website, the people who look at the website don't see what the picture's name is, but on the back, you can name it luxury Austin, Texas.jpg. And that is kind of how you do it back end. But it can get very, very technical. And that's why having a firm that has all those experts to do it for you is a lot more efficient, because that's just like one example. There's hundreds of things you can do on the back end side to really associate the website with those keywords. Kay, what was that keyword that you mentioned again? Luxury?
Luxury real estate, Austin, Texas. We do that for social media, but obviously the website and Google is really important. So that's a huge aha for me today.
Yeah, so there's 2,600 people searching that every single month. And right now, whenever they search, the first person to pop up is Sotheby's Realty, and they're just showing sales in Austin, Texas. But the difficulty is very low. So this kind of tells you how long it would take you to optimize for the keyword. Normally the big ones, like if you want to rank for homes for sale in Texas, that's like, quite difficult because so many people are all, trying for that keyword. But this is medium difficulty, which is not too bad. So it wouldn't take too long to optimize for that keyword. And traffic for that keyword has been pretty steady as well. So it's not like a trend that just popped up recently. It's been around the last year, it's been quite stable. But then there's also other keywords that are associated with this, like luxury homes in Austin, Texas. 19,000 people are searching that. Mansions for sale, Austin, Texas, 14,000. Austin, Texas, homes for sale, 8,500. So obviously we're not going to optimize the entire website for one keyword. We'll optimize it for 100, 200, 300 that are all sort of related to each other so that we can capture all of the traffic. So if we optimize for this word specifically, the traffic potential is 2,600 people per month to the website. But then if you optimize for another term as well, it'll be 2,600 plus whatever that is.
Would you be able to search new construction, Austin, Texas? I know you guys have to go, but this is so mind blowing right now.
New construction, Austin, Texas. So it's harder, right? Traffic is also 2.6, but it's significantly harder to get that. But then there's also a ton of related new construction home, Austin, new construction homes in Austin, Texas under $400,000. I don't know how many people searching that. 440. But yeah, this also will tell you what the people that search for this, it'll also kind of tell you what else they search for, like interest rates. I'm sure that's a very hot topic, right? So the amount of information we can get from this can kind of tell us how to position or which keywords we should, or which combination of keywords we should go after. And as you said, like this is a great example. If you want to specialize or really bring a focus to new construction in Austin, then we do a series of blogs, we optimize for this keyword, and then we can capture that traffic. And if we're on the first page for this, we can then shift our focus to estates in Austin, Texas. And then we can capture that traffic. If we then want to shift to multifamily property in Austin, Texas, then we can use that keyword and start optimizing for that. So we can do a combination, but it's also strategic in the ones that we choose. We want to choose the ones that have a high potential, but that are also not as hard so that we can get results faster.
That makes sense. This website that you use, is it something that you pay for?
Yeah, so our company pays for it, thankfully, because I won't be able to afford it. I think it's a couple $100 a month.
Okay.
The business ones are obviously more expensive, but we have like the ultimate version, so we see everything, which seems illegal, but it's not. But that's a great thing as well. If you have specific competitors, we can kind of search them and see what they're doing, how they're doing. We can even see what keywords they're ranking for, and then we can figure out if we want to compete with them on that keyword, or maybe put all of our effort into a different keyword that is actually, more valuable or more relevant. And yes, it takes a while for Google to really understand what we're doing, but the faster we move, the faster the results can come.
Totally.
So I see there's another website that we might want to check out, TM5 Colleague.
Let's make time for you guys.
Pardon?
We can make time for one more before we have to hop off. I'm excited to see this one too.
So if we just click the link, then we can get in contact with you all, the one that Tomas put in the chat or?
Yes, 100%. But I'll also just give you guys my email, so you can skip that and just email me directly, and then we'll schedule a consultation, and we can play around with this for longer and just kind of look at all the competitors, what they're doing, how they're doing it, and come up with a strategy. But yeah, TM5, the domain ranking is not 0, which means they're doing something or that they've been around for a while. There is some backlinks and referring domains. So all these numbers, I'll explain them more in a consultation, but it essentially just tells you if there's been activity on the website or if things are designed properly. They ranked for 52 keywords. They don't get a lot of traffic, but the keywords that they rank for is eXp Realty College Station, TM5 Properties, Terrence Murphy Realtor. I like to adjust them based on their position, so we see what the most successful ones are at the top. So they've got 3 keywords in the front page, and eXp Realty College Station, TM5 Properties, Terrence Murphy Realtor. So that's essential, right? If anyone Googles your name, you need to show up front, first page. That's really, really important. But as Tomas said, the non-branded keywords, they're more powerful because a lot more people are searching those. A lot more people will be searching for a home than searching for a realtor. And that's where we want to kind of bring the two together. But yeah, a lot of Terrence Murphy Net Worth. But yeah, there's a couple in the first page, only like 2 in the second page, and everything else is third page and below. Which is, it's not bad. It kind of, if I had to guess, I would say that they did some SEO, but maybe just a couple of months. Because for us, generally speaking, within like 2 or 3 months, we'll have like 100, 150 keywords that we rank for. Yeah, I'll say in 3 months, we get the keywords to like 100, 150. And within 6 months, we get the traffic to like, a couple hundred visitors a month. And from there, all our focus is just to generate leads, take the traffic, see what those people are actually doing on the website. And we have a bunch of other tools that help us do that as well. See if people are coming on, but not actually converting to a lead. Why? Like, where was their mouse? Or like, how much time did they spend on this and that? And then we can kind of optimize the website to be better for them, or to be easier for them to convert into a lead. But yeah, I think if anyone wants a consultation where we can just play around with this tool, look at what our competitors are doing, I'm just going to put my email address in the chat. Nicholas@co.com. Yeah.
Competitors something that you do in the consultation, or is that just if you start working together?
No, in the consultation, because we want to kind of come up with a strategy, right? So, and to be honest, even if the strategy doesn't include working with us full time, we like to just kind of show you how the power of these things are, and also kind of show you what your competitors are doing and come up with some kind of way to beat them, whether it be website, SEO, physical marketing, anything that we can do, or anything that we can help with, we will help. But the purpose of the consultation is just to learn about your business, figure out a way on how we can, figure out a way on how you can grow. And if we can be part of that journey, then we'll offer our services. But yeah, it's a completely free consultation where, we'll just figure out if these things can benefit you, how to implement them, and where we can go from there.
That's awesome. We appreciate your time so much. Does anyone have any last questions before we let Nicholas go?
Yes, I don't see his info in the chat.
Oh, I think I just replied to Javier. Everyone. Okay. Nicholas at autoseo.com. All right, so I put my email address there, and what I can also do is I can also just put my calendar, and if anyone wants to just book an appointment or a consultation with me, they can just go right ahead and book it.
That'd be perfect. I'll put that in the recording in our workplace group too.
That's perfect. And yeah, it's an open invitation. I've got permission from my managers that I can give anyone on this call a free consultation. So whenever is most convenient for you, just shoot me an email or book directly on the calendar, and yeah, we can talk in more detail. And if you have any competitors that you think of that you want to peek behind the curtain on, just jot them down, and we'll investigate together.
I'm excited. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right,
Cheers.
thank you guys so much.
everybody.